right, everybody, welcome back. It's time for the final map of the night here at ESL Pro League Season 5, Match Day number 7. My name is Stunna. This is Vendetta. It's his first day on the job. We're trying to take it easy on him, even though he did predict Cloud9 to lose that train matchup, which he will be paying for dearly after we turn the cameras off.
Definitely. But I mean, from what I heard, Dave's just getting everything out of my, like they're docking my pay and paying him for everything he gets right and I get wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's unfortunate how that works.
Yeah, and it doesn't go the other way around either.
See, I don't buy into agreements like that.
Yeah, no, I didn't read through my contracts. Yeah, I really did.
No, so, I mean, we've got Cbble coming up here. Cloud9 and Immortals obviously saw what we thought would have been a more back-and-forth game over there on Train, but we're going to go into Cbble now. Who's the favorite into this one?
Well, I mean, I'm going to stick true to what I said in the pregame. I think Cloud9 are going to do well here on Cbble. It's not to say that, obviously, Immortals, they know how to play Cbble as well. We've seen it's been kind of their... Well, it was what they broke into the top tier scene for a couple of years or a couple of months back.
Well, let's throw it over now to DeBears, who's standing by to run us through a little bit of Immortals Cbble. Give us some of that good analysis, DeBears.
Thank you, Stunna. Who here thought that Immortals will do worse with FNX? Raise your hand, guys, because they are a team to be feared right now. Even without Phelps, they're doing pretty amazing work, and they did an awesome job at IEM. So one thing I want to take a look at here is the way that Team Immortals takes this A-Halls. As they're taking it slow, it looks normal. It looks like a common, A push and whatnot. But what makes this so special is how many flashbangs they use just to flash out this one corner that MSL and Magic are hiding at. There's one right there, okay? Easy flash to dodge. It's expected, okay? But now, here it comes again. There's going to be a second flash right away. Okay, easy to dodge, obvious. They hear it, whatever. Now they're trying to reposition themselves. They probably know one person's here. Third flash. 3 flashes in that one spot. And it completely gets MSL and Magic off guard. It helped them win the round. As soon as they got those 2 kills, Immortals are rushing up towards the bomb site. They're Molotoving on top of balcony, under balcony, Steel with a nice kill on AZ. And it was an easy round 1. Well, not easy, but they made it look easy. And it forces North to save their guns. And it just... awesome mind games by Team Immortals. I can't wait to see more of their league play and with FNX in the roster. Back to you, Stunna.
Thank you, DeBears, as always. Now, before we get into this matchup, let's take a look at the IM Katowice run there by Immortals. Obviously, they made it really far in the tournament. FNX being that addition to the roster, bringing that extra power to the team. What can you tell me as an analyst about the Immortals?
Well, first off, what the change does allow for them is that they're going to get a much more, I guess, reliable player on their team. And oftentimes we talk about glue guys on whether it's, CS or any other sport and how important they are to a team. And I think FNX being that or coming in with that veteran presence and potentially leadership could actually be a massive thing for Immortals, simply because what we've seen in the past is very high highs and very low lows, not really too much consistency with what they're doing. Now they have 2 heads on that team, in Zeus being the coach and FNX, to kind of guide the younger talent and kind of steer them into the correct direction. And already you can see that even though they haven't had a lot of time together, you can still see that they have a clear mind of how they want to play out their games, as shown by the Bears there on Cbble, and how they actually want to utilize FNX in their roster, which is really, really positive going forward. Immortals, I don't think they're necessarily going to be like a completely unknown team in that regard, or so different from what they did in the past, but I think we're going to see a bit more of a strategical aspect from them, or more reliance on it, but it also is going to allow all of their players to play more loosely, which is going to be beneficial for them.
So we'll look at this North a little bit of the highlights here. Obviously, look at FNX. He's all up in your business right here. They're able to take this map, obviously in Cbble, 16-6. They're able to walk away with that W. And right there, North was also strong at the tournament.
Oh, absolutely. And North are, well, for the better part of latter years part of 2016, North were kind of the giants of Cobblestone, right? So getting a map win versus them, especially if you consider go back to the Atlanta Major, right? North had VP 12-3 up on Cobblestone as well. So it's not like this has been a map that's gone bad for North necessarily. They're still really, really strong on that, and that just speaks volumes of how solid of a performance it was for the Brazilians.
No, absolutely. We also saw them take a 16-14 W over the Ninjas in Pajamas. Obviously not the same, ninjas in pajamas of years ago, but still a formidable opponent, much more than they're likely to face here in North America.
Yeah, very much so. And, a lot of people are probably going to give NIP flack about how that Katowice tournament turned out. But I think, if I recall correctly, the 3 losses they had were 16-14 and 2 overtime losses. And as you know, like when you get to a tournament like that, there's no bad teams. So it doesn't necessarily mean that NIP had a bad tournament or that they're completely out of whack in that sense. So, again, it doesn't mean that Immortals beat a poor opponent at that tournament by any means. Again, it just goes to show the strengths that Immortals has to build off of now going forward.
Okay. Well, let me get a quick prediction from you, and you better pick right, or that's just the end of that.
Well, again, I'm committed to the Cloud9 pick at this point. I got to ride or die with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
In America, that's just about the way it goes.
Exactly.
But Ride or Die are the Blaze combo who are standing by to give you this Cobble matchup between Immortals and Cloud9. Take it away, guys.
All right, yeah, thank you very much. Cobblestone, we are getting prepared to jump into here in just a moment, and you picked the other direction for this one. You were saying that this one's probably going to go the Immortals' way, right?
Yeah, I think Immortals is the better Cobble team from what I've seen. It doesn't mean that Cloud9 can't win. I think, like I said, these guys are very even on most maps. I think most maps can go either way with these guys. I don't really favor one team like very heavily over the other one. But if I did have to say that Immortals and I think Cobble is one of their better maps.
Yeah, so again, things are going to be getting started here in just a moment, guys. We can see the players warming up once again. As I think, by the way, we've still kept to almost a perfect record of having Cobblestone in every single set we've had in the Pro League so far. It's like, I think we've had 1 or 2 where we haven't had Cobblestone, and every single other time we've had at least one of them. Well, obviously it would be one of the maps, but we've had Cobblestone in it. So again, it just continues to be this like map that every team in North America feels comfortable playing on for some reason.
Yeah, I think one thing about North American Counter-Strike is how like we're really late to the party when it comes to new maps. Not necessarily new maps, but like for instance, New came out, right? Just nobody played it.
Yeah.
Nobody played it. Meanwhile, Astralis is playing it, Virtus Pro is playing it, and you fall behind a lot when you don't play maps like that. And it's like you just keep wanting to not adapt, and when a new map comes out, the best thing you could do is just play it a ton and try to get ahead of the curve, because once you're ahead of the curve, it's a lot easier to like adapt to things and just make small changes. It's Cloud9 just instantly running 5 up mid, Stewie leading the pack, and he's going to be here so fast.
Henny waiting around the corner though, and he's got a CZ for the first round, so that may surprise Stewie a little bit there, taking him back out. It puts us into a 5v4. Bolt's trying to hold in the alleyway, but he's going to get double peeked in a moment here. They are trying to outclass him, but in the meantime, Henny's rolling back in. Finally, he's out of ammo, but Steel cuts him off from the other end, saving his teammate. Down to 2 on the Cloud9 side of things, and Shroud's still trying to hold. Automatic picking up the first frag here on a Steel, but there's still a lot more to go. And Henny lurking in, tapping away with that CZ, taking down Automatic, and now it's just on Shroud, but even he will not survive very long either. FNX eliminating Shroud, and it is the Immortals that will control the pistol to start off Cobblestone.
Yeah, Stewie jumping out before the smoke gets Henny a freebie right here. Had he waited for that smoke or had that smoke come, a little bit earlier, I think that round changes a lot. But that kill is very important because Stewie was kind of ahead of the pack. He would have been able to cut off a lot of those rotations had he not died. He would have been able to either go in that rat hole or, go underneath heaven really early. But that death kind of spelled doom, I think, for Cloud9. And now they just kind of get a few deagles, and God, their deagles, Stewie's deagle is insane. I think if you just give him time and you just let him work for like a minute and a half, a lot of the time you can win these rounds that you barely spend any money on. Having said that, that was a really nice double nade play by FNX and Steel.
Nades getting tossed deep, and we do have the rest of Cloud9 here holding back now as Shroud is looking to move in for some drop control. Nothing also sitting at the border of Long A, where he actually tags Henny pretty heavily, down to 7 HP. He's now going to have to fall back towards, Henny down at 12 HP. It's Lucas at 7 HP from before. And, all right. Rip the chicken.
PETA.
As the rest of Cloud9 are going to try to go forward here with more than likely what will lead into a B player. Could be also a drop split, but they have a pretty heavy amount of players over here towards drop if it were going to be that. Normally it's only 1 or 2 that do go down here in that split, so we've yet to find out. And we can also see Stewie has crept up to, I don't think he's noted that FNX is sitting in that corner yet, so he has a flashbang, but yeah, Lucas will still be able to take him out quite easily. And as the time gets lower and lower here, we have not really seen Cloud9 been able to successfully move forward and take any map control yet. So more than likely, this is still looking pretty good for the Immortals to shut it down, unless there's a big slip up here from the player over on the A-bomb site that leads to his own death. And I mean, even just this like 5 to 10 seconds he's delayed it is going to be great. Nade goes deep. It's a little bit too deep, but it's still enough to finish off Automatic here and does some damage to the remaining members of C9 too. Seems like Bolt is going to handle this pretty well on his own. Shroud's already left as the last man alive, and he's not going to get a single kill, so it's a clean sweep for the Immortals on the second round.
Yeah, and no bomb plant either, so it's going to be a save. And the only one to even get on the board so far is Automatic with his 2 kills. Bolts gets that's a nice kill right there on nothing. Had they come up on the right side, you know, like around that tree, Bolts could be caught out in the open, and that round could actually go differently since his rotator was heady. First responder, you know, with like 2 HP. But it is, you know, 4 umps and a mag 7 against a Deagle, bunch of Glocks and P250s, so it should be another easy win for Immortals. Shroud kind of ahead of the smoke, trying to work something and drop, but already into a 3v5.
Yeah, Immortals already taking full control here to try and push this up to an easy 3-0. And again, Cloud9 not really moving into anything decisive here to follow up the loss of both Nothing and Stewie. They're just spread out across the map, evenly hunting for any frags they can get to try and drop the economy down a little bit. Automatic actually does find a kill back over there on the A-bomb site, but Shroud immediately countered back out there inside of drop. Skidoodle and Automatic actually do have them cornered a little bit here at some off angles, but Automatic, unfortunately, although he'll find that one additional kill, FNX swings right back out to take him down, and now it's just Skidoodle left alive in the 1v3 over there. As he pushes backwards, you can see him actually aligning for the kill on a steal, but Steal quick on those headshots. It's not even going to give him the chance.
Yep, so quick 3-0, and the thing is, we'll see Immortals probably keep a lot of you know, these guns and try to do an economical buy here and just win this round, you know, with just an two M4s and these 2 SMGs and mag 7. And Cbble is one of those maps that you really can do that. There's a lot of close angles, a lot of good mag 7 angles on this map. Not just drop either. You can play, there's really 3 mag 7 spots, right? You can play basically anywhere in the drop, E-box, you can play close broken wall, and you can play close long A, right? There's a lot of mag 7 spots, so it's a great gun on this map.
Well, now for Cloud9, again, focusing early on what we usually expect from almost every T side on this map, it is going to be the pressure leading out towards that B-bomb site. Already having 2 inside of drop to defend this one as well. And the Molly's actually going to transition room. Normally it's not this deep, so massive damage done to FNX as he wants to prioritize getting out of there instead of just standing his ground outside of the Molotov and taking the fight. Cloud9 will not get any huge advantage off of that. Like I said before, they do kind of clear out the room, but because there's a smoke up on top, they actually don't want to go through with challenging that themselves. Automatic is pushed forward, though. The Molotov continues to bloom. He's going to be pushed to the border, down to 34 HP, and it works out so beautifully for the Immortals as Lucas is able to capitalize on that in big terms. He takes down Automatic. Now they've got this as a man advantage. Cloud9, again, still have made 0 progress of actually getting out onto this bomb site. Thankfully, time is still working to a certain degree in their favor, but if they don't execute soon, that's going to change very fast. Cross spray angle here over towards Broken Wall, but Steel is handling all of it, and now Henny, here you go, just casually, full control to shut down Nothing as the Immortals push forward, now 4-0 in the lead.
Yeah, and still no kills on the board for Cloud9 besides Automatic, and Henny just walk flanks A, gets behind Nothing, and then just mag 7s him in the back. But his informational play there, knowing that they have to hit B, you know, he has all the info at A, and he's going to play long A again with this mag 7, so Cloud9, just a couple of Deagles, pretty economic here. They're going to have a complete full buy in the next round, but they kind of played right into Immortals' trap. Immortals had 3 players towards drop while they were taking control, and then they reacted to B, right? So these calculated risks that they're playing, Steel dying there to Shroud's Deagle, though. And that could bring up an opening for Cloud9. But, you know, the calculated risks by them are really doing well. They... You know, like when we saw Winterfox play, they just did a default like every single round. But Immortals is one of the most impressive teams that I've seen on this map. They've been Virtus Pro about being on the CT side and adapting to what you think the enemy is going to do and doing a really good job of it and giving yourself chances to win rounds, especially when you have umps and things like that.
Well, FNX and Bolts are going to get challenged here, but again, it's Cloud9 not really making any impact whatsoever beyond that kill and a steal that they got, you know, good 30 to 40 seconds ago now. It's down to 3, 2 of which have already been lit quite heavily in the case of Nothing, and taking about half the HP off of Stewie. Lucas waits for it outside of the window. If he doesn't see it, he's certainly going to hear it. Well, he will pulse catches the first one. It is Lucas that jumps back into the window to immediately trade up the final 2 and give the Immortals their 5th.
Yeah, Lucas is a really good draw player, and I wonder if Cloud9 is going to start nading underneath it. I know he's playing here right now, but oftentimes he'll play drop. I mean, I've seen him play it 15 rounds in a row on this map, since we see it every time in every game that we cast. So, and I've seen him, a lot of the time he just plays underneath drop with a smoke out for like 15 rounds in a row. Well, not a smoke out, but with his gun out, and then as soon as nades come out, he counter smokes it. And, you know, we'll see if they counter that. I mean, you could definitely can with just like a couple nades, but it looks like he's doing it here right now from what I've seen, but I guess he used his nades actually pretty early, so he's probably not going to do that. And look at them adjust again. So they have, I believe, it's Henny opping the B plat, and now they have 3 towards A and Lucas holding drop. So every round, they essentially are going to predict what you're going to do, and they're going to try to counter it on that CT side. And if you're a strat caller that does things like, oh, hey, that shot didn't work, let's hit the other side of the map, which is what Cloud9 is essentially doing right now, right? Oh, this B drop switch didn't work, let's start working A. Immortals almost always adjust to that and will just pick the opposite side after you lost the round at that site.
Bolts, he'll be waiting, but he is going to have to check to his right in a moment here. Stewie swinging back out, and Stewie has been a hesitation, so Bolts gets the first kill. Nothing swinging back out, though. He is able to get a trade, so we go down to a 4v4. Cloud9, though, again, sitting at the gates of A, but they haven't followed through with anything just yet. Automatic going in for that spray, fully commits to it, but it still works out for him. Again, though, trades are in for the guys on Immortals. They continue to evenly trade this back out. Now it's down to a 2v2, and the CTs have control of the bomb as it's just gone down in the hands of Skadoodle there. So now FNX looks to control this. He even does great damage to Automatic. They'll flash him back out. There's that kill. I don't think he realized that nothing was sitting so close to the corner. Well, he's certainly going to know this now as he goes down to him. So at the end of the day, we end up in a 1v1. And oh, it seems like it bounces off the Molotov again there. I think it was actually a little bit in front of it. So that one made a bit more sense. But nothing is basically just going to hightail it out of here, rush over to the B-bomb site, and plant it there to finish off this 1v1.
And he's going to be able to get whatever position he wants. Henny's pretty far away. He's coming up to the connector doors now, but nothing's going to be able to get in a great position. He still thinks it's A. So once he realizes it's B, nothing could be wherever he wants, and Henny's probably just going to have to run to the bomb very, very quickly. But you know what? He does have a smoke, and he has 2 flashes.
So he still doesn't realize it. I mean, at this point, he's going to realize it's too late, and he might just have to call for a save, or just rush in and attempt this as quickly as he can. So it looks like he is going to go for it, but he's wasted so much time for this. He has the kit, he has that little bit of extra time, but still, you can already hear how rapidly the bomb is beeping as he moves into this bomb site, going directly for it, checking every which way he possibly can with the time allotted the smoke. He doesn't even go over the bomb right now, so he's pushed out. He's in the open, there's nowhere to go. It looks like he's just going to do a quick run around here, but he stays in the site, and now he's going to die to the explosion. And in the meantime, nothing is long gone. So he just gives away his life, and Cloud9, well, they'll finally get on the board because of that.
Yeah, not the most well-played 1v1 by Henny that I've seen. Unfortunately, he was probably hearing the bomb ticking from B and stayed towards A. I mean, you have to think, like, the sound was a little off there because none of his teammates told him, you know, hey, it's B, bro. You know, because, he was there for like 10, 15 seconds, right? So probably just kept getting the sound, you know, that the bomb was beeping and didn't realize it was beeping at B. But Cloud9, you know, that's a round that, even though Cloud9 won, I mean, Immortals, positionally speaking, you know, they had the advantage, right? They knew kind of what Cloud9 was doing. They were overplaying A. And now they still kind of have the positional advantage. They have 4 towards B, playing long A, pretty aggressive, not even getting pushed back as Henny. So, again, they're kind of outplaying them positionally. And this is what makes Immortals Cobble so good at times.
Well, for Cloud9 here now, again, everybody basically just stacked outside of the B approach, as we've seen many, many rounds already here. Molotovs to move in and trying to flush out some of the Immortals players. But currently not really working out. That's the second one here that can do damage, and Automatic Soul just deletes Lucas. Not only this, but nothing finds his mark against Henny, so they can drop the FNX. Walks right into the Hornet's nest there. He's going to go down. FNX at least burns out Stewie here with the assistance from Bolts. But after everything is said and done, through that chaos there, it's left to Steel in a 1v2. Something he could certainly attempt to clutch out, but I think the problem is he assumes that they're already on the A bomb site with full control, so I doubt he's actually going to attempt it.
Well, he's just gambling. He's hoping they come B and maybe overthink it. Unfortunately for him, he's wrong. It is going to be an A play, and they're probably just going to be able to plant for long A. And I don't see him having much of a chance of winning this round. So I kind of agree that this might be a save if they do get the bomb down. But it looks like he is going to go for it. That smoke cue kind of gave him the time needed to get into position to actually contest this round and fight in this 1v2. But it's a very difficult retake.
And he does have a little bit of utility to weigh out here. Again, the flashbang is just going to rain right out, but the timing is horrible. Skadoodle peeks him directly at the moment that he was trying to pop flash that out. So very quickly putting him down, and there will be no save at all that time for the Immortals. Everyone goes down, and I believe they'll call for a pause here.
Yeah, FNX getting caught out of position, not realizing they're out of the window already. Still manages to get a Molotov kill onto Sui, though.
So it is actually going to be, to clarify, a technical pause, not for the Immortals either. It is going to be a Cloud9 technical pause. So as soon as we get, I'm assuming just some issue with someone's computer or something like that, or internet, and as soon as we get that fixed, we'll go right back into the game, guys. Should be pretty short.
Yeah, while we're waiting, could we take a look at the money on Immortals? I'm curious if they have, you know, funds or not. I'm assuming they're going to save here. Just USPs on them. Haven't bought up yet, but... You know, Cloud9 winning these 2 rounds in a row. But again, I mean, I think positionally speaking, Immortals had the edge. You know, they just weren't able to execute.
Yeah, unfortunately, just being knocked out there, and even in the 1v2 scenario too, if he lost man alive for Immortals, if he had read that a little bit earlier on to be able to rotate into that, then he might have actually had a really decent chance. But because he took the gamble there, as you were saying, on playing it into the B-bomb site, hoping they would overthink it, doesn't really work out, and he was outmatched as soon as that bomb went onto the ground in the A-bomb site. So it just didn't really work out. And now Cloud9, obviously still a bit of a ways to go, but they are on the comeback path here, especially if they were able to successfully break the Immortals and put them down to a point where they're going to have to full eco here. That should be a fairly simple round for Cloud9 to push through up to 3 at the very least.
Yeah, we'll see with Immortals and what they opt to do, you know, to try to adapt to this Cloud9 attack, because Cloud9 is going drop pretty consistently, and right there even it came down to like a millisecond timing, right? The Molotov came out, automatic pushed past it once again, and the round before that he pushed past it, you know, he got caught out and died, right? But this round that he pushed past it, he was able to get that entry. FNX kind of bailed out because that Molotov came, you know, rained down on the E-box side, and it opened things up. And that's one of the things about drop room on Cbble. It's so just unforgiving, right? Just half a millisecond is all it takes, whether you're getting a kill or not, you know? So it's a very difficult spot to play.
And in this match, it's been relatively back and forth with who has actually been able to successfully control it on round to round. Sometimes, as we've seen, you know, Molotovs from C9 have not really worked at all, and Immortals were able to swing right back in and kill them when they attempted to go for the waterfall play. But other times around, we've seen them actually being quite successful with it. Molotovs are they completely burned out the Immortals players. They forced them into the arena essentially and allowed for Cloud9 to punish them there. In the meantime, you know, as we look at the rest of the B-bomb site, one area that Cloud9 has actually been pretty bad at getting control of consistently has been the broken wall there. They've been almost over-reliant on drop to get themselves into the bomb site, as the guys that are pushing out towards broken wall haven't really been able to make that kind of progress consistently.
Yeah, and you know, you're right. And who's playing over there? I think it's FNX is playing like E-box and B side, and Bolt's usually playing that B bomb site. And he's been A by himself quite a lot this game. Actually, I think they switched Bolts and he's playing A rotator now, and Steel's playing main B. But they kind of switch up their setup so much that it's kind of tough to see which player is actually playing and responsible for everything. Henny is almost always A, but sometimes they bring him over to Op B. So they kind of just mix it up so much. It's kind of tough to know exactly where everybody's going to be. I mean, and you know, I get to watch them in an overview. So playing against them, you know, they mask their setup, they mask what they're doing whenever they get into something, and it's just tough to predict. It really is.
All right, guys, so we are still working on getting the issue with Cloud9 resolved, but while we do that, we are going to send things over to a quick break. So be sure to stick around, folks, and we'll be back as soon as the match is ready to go.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, PaySafeCard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ESL Cloud9! Shots in a row, and Phoenix about to bring it back now. All on Nico, trying to see if they can get the defuse, and Nico, oh no, Phoenix!
Has to keep Virtus Pro alive. Taco once closer. AW.
He's looking for a look. He's gonna get a hit by headshot again. Oh my god.
Get your team apparel now at shop.eslgaming.com.
Counter-Strike is sharing incredible moments with us and will return to a memorable place. Get your tickets now at proleague.com/Dallas.
Well, 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 welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. We're still continuing here with this match, of course, and the reason for the pause, a bit confusing, as actually nothing is going to change, but essentially what happened is Cbble was having some internet connection issues. He was going to leave, and Valens was going to step in, but then they reversed that decision, and now apparently his internet is fine, and he's back in, so the game should be resumed momentarily as we're getting ready to jump back into it. In case you weren't with us previously, it's a 5-2 on Cobblestone. Immortals has the lead, but Cloud9 have picked up the last 2 rounds, and we're pretty sure they've put Immortals onto an eco, or a force buy in this case,
Force
apparently.
buy, yeah.
So as, we're going to see rifle investments for 2 of them, but the rest are kind of scrapping together whatever they can here.
Yeah, we got new ads, I noticed, Blue.
Did we? Yeah.
That's the thing. I would never sell out on ads. I mean, if you go to my YouTube, youtube.com/godays, I would never put pre-roll ads or anything like that.
Okay.
It would never happen.
All right. It's good quality content over there, I guess.
But yes, they are on a force buy. And we'll see what type of risk they take. You know, they just have Henny kind of spotting it A. He actually has a Mag 7 close middle, so he can't really do much at long haul or anything like that. Just Mag 7ing close. And, you know, another little calculated risk. Bolts actually falls back with the CZ, but that A-bomb site is really weak. They're not in a really good setup right now. Bolts at least gets in a position now where he could do something, but I don't know if I agree with this, man. I think with this type of buy, you got to take a risk. You have to, like, 4 people towards B, maybe even 5.
Well, for Cloud9 here, it does appear as that they're going to be going through the normal motions to try and get out and get that B control as quickly as possible. Already seeing automatic go into drop, and there's no challenge to it this time. They're actually being rather passive about it. He spots Lucas, and the smoke actually doesn't really work out for Lucas, as automatic is able to spot him through it. He jumps out without his gun out, I should mention, which is a bit risky there. Still able to follow through with the kill and the steal, and he's essentially single-handedly gotten them the site here now. Skidoo also picked up a kill on the way in too, I believe. But now it's down to Bolts and Henny, and they really don't have anything to work with, so automatic's just going to hide in this little corner here. Try to find Bolts, and now, oh no, actually Bolts get the better of him. So that's an AK if he wants to try and run away with it. Henny also boosted up on top of the drop room there. Has the ability to try and knock out a few of them as they will attempt to escape more than likely through the broken wall approach here. But the round itself will almost certainly be going to Cloud9 at this point.
I feel like Henny has had a Mag 7 like almost every round on this CT side. I remember he had an AWP once, but nice Molotov by nothing. Still dies to him though, and now Stewie with only 30 HP.
He's gonna look for another one. He gets that one, aiming for the third, but finally...
That was well worth it.
Yeah, the missed shot, however, he still picks up the 2 kills, and I believe that's 800 a kill, so he's gonna rack up a nice little 1,600 off of that one. Certainly worth it at the end of the day, and it brings Cloud9 just 2 players at the end of the round, forcing a lot of rebuys, and they are nowhere near stabilized on this T-set economy just yet, so that's gonna cost them dearly.
Yeah, I don't agree with that though. I think when you're low bot like that, you need to take a risk. Like they literally just held a complete default setup on CT side Cobble with no nades and a poorly bought round. I think you got to take a risk there. They opt not to. They still have, you know, an AK, 3 CZs, and a P250 though on Henny, so they might be able to make something happen here. These CZs are pretty deadly, especially Immortals. They were using them very, very well.
So for the beginning of the round, it is once again pretty much what we have come to expect for C9 in most of these rounds. Bolts, though, with the single AK they do have to challenge Cloud9 here. He's picked up 1 kill, but he does overstay his welcome out in the open there at the edge of it. Scooter will trade him out, bringing us down to a 4v4. And again, that's the rifle on the ground. Closest player that will be able to retrieve it would be Steel. And actually, I think he is going to be able to get it, although he's kind of stuck in this position now if Skadoodle were to re-peek.
And Stewie just is about to peek E-Box right there. Just misses him, but I don't think they know that Stewie's there, so I think he's going to end up getting an easy kill onto Steel.
Well, Steel is paying attention to this one. The flashbang though connects into Steel. He is able to wrap back behind it. Keep in mind though, he's got the AK but no armor supporting it currently. So it's easy pickings for automatic when he does push into the corner here. Stewie again comboing up some more frags. Him and automatic double teaming it as he push into the site. And the last one standing is going to be FNX. Pretty much fully detached from all this combat that's going to happening over here on the B-bomb site. Pretty late to the party in terms of his timing on his rotation too. So probably not going to do much as C9 are already completely set up just to hunt him down.
FNX just trying to look for some type of an exit. He does have half armor though, and we'll see if he can get a gun and you know, off somebody chasing him. And if he does, he could probably do some damage.
Well, picking up the first one and actually having an opportunity to do more, but he pulls out pulls out the knife in the corner. But Stewie realized that, so he picked one up himself, and he steals the glory from his opponent as he finishes things off with a cheeky knife kill.
Yeah, both players were thinking the exact same thing there.
Knows he has him in the corner, realizes he's out of ammo. Nicely done from Stewie. Always the player that is willing to try those sorts of things in matches like this too.
He'd definitely be on my all CS Nike team. Him, Simple. Who else?
I don't know really. Well, Config after the major.
True. Him simple config. We need 2 more to make the all-knife.
Yeah, we have to keep the prospects open on that one. But for right now, as we take a look into this next gun round here, FNX is actually going to get his hand forced a little bit. He was trying to hold an aggressive angle in front of the smoke, but a team Molotov is going to send him barreling back down below the broken wall there. It doesn't take that much damage though, only down to 88, so it's not a huge deal. Just has to change up his position and play into something a bit more normal, and generally what the T's would expect to when they do look to push forward here, as they have in many rounds in the past.
Yeah, and they're setting up to clear that left side. I think Shroud's going to throw a Molotov as soon as the smoke dissipates and try to get the guy running out.
So the usual molly going to the backside there to flush out the Cubby player. Won't be seeing one. In the meantime, though, if you take a look at Cloud9 over there on the backside, obviously we have Cbble and Stewie kind of playing to the front line here over towards Broken. But over there in the mid connector, there's actually quite a few guys also pushing in here, too, to try and throw this over towards the A bomb site. Well, the 2 with the bomb are still pushing in here. Henny missing that first shot, despite having the blind, misses the second one, too. They're getting all this ground for free right now, and Henny has been forced into the corner. They haven't fully rotated off the B bomb site as they are going to go through these doors and shift down. So FNX is ready for this one, but he's only able to get 1. Automatic and Shroud pick up 2 more kills directly after that, and now Automatic's holding off the rotation. Bolts just get clothesline on his way into the bomb site, and all they have left is going to be Henny here. Automatic. Oh, what? Oh, Henny misses a shot against the player with his knife out, and now he's stuck in this corner, missing another shot. Henny's falling to pieces, and he cannot connect to anything here as nothing finishes it off, and Cloud9 tie it up at 5-5.
Yeah, and Henny he whiffed 2 very important shots right here, and that's kind of something that happens when, well, first off, I don't know, for me, I always felt whenever I went to a LAN and then came back from one, like it always took me a day to kind of get settled down and get used to my setup again. I don't know, for whatever reason, just getting used to like online play again and whatnot. And Henny especially plays such a style where he shoots so fast. Like his firing rate is even faster than Kenny S in my opinion. Like I don't know anybody who shoots as fast as him and like flicks as fast as him. So what does that mean? That means like, if he's even just a tiny bit off, just a fraction off, right, then he's going to be missing. And back on the Mag 7 with 4 CZs, but, you know, it is 4v5. But I think, you know, just being a little bit uncomfortable can really affect somebody with that type of a playstyle.
Well, nothing in... Whoa, all right. He's trying to blast off into space there. Shroud takes him down. Steel, Lucas, and FNX, again, hold position spread across the map, but nothing really to bargain over. They are only down by 1 player, but with no one having really any utility or even a rifle to work with, and only one of them having armor in the hands of Steel there. Prospects are certainly not going to be looking good. I also think Shroud might have spotted Steel jumping past the boost-up box there a second ago, too, so I think they realized that they are going to be trying to hold in that position. They even go for the molly off there, too, and another deep nade. They're being flanked from the right side, though, and they may not catch that at first. In fact, yeah, Steel gets the kill. Now it's Cbble missing these shots. Nothing's here, though, and he will be able to bail him out to a certain degree. And there we have it. The remaining 2 from Immortals will end up getting knocked out pretty quickly, and it's Cloud9 that now steal the lead away from the Brazilian roster.
Yeah, not only that, but so much money built up by Cloud9. I mean, I think they've just dominated the past few rounds here. Really nice play by Lucas there. If you saw, he was crouched and waited until Automatic actually got pushed up pretty close and then took the battle and got the kills. Or got the kill.
So Immortals are buying into this one again, still having that cash flow to work with, which does include Henny on the op, but that could prove itself to not be as good of a thing as it has been in the past, since it's not really looking to be too hot today with his connections. As for the rest of C9, though, again, it's still the type of play that we have come to expect so far in this half. Pretty much everybody is lining up into that default opener here. Only have a couple guys posted back to watch for the flank. Shroud, though, already catching off FNX there. Tapping through a little bit. He grabs the headshot to be able to take him down, and this is going to send Steel back. Watch out more towards drop, and he's changing up his position a little bit as he tries to play over here on the sidewalk instead to give him a little bit more real estate to work with. But that also opens up the site for much easier control on the Cloud9 side of things when they do decide to push back in, which they are setting up for smokes and whatnot now. So we can expect that execute to roll in here pretty quickly. And there's still no sign of Henny, you know, rotating into this either. You can see it. Smokes and everything else just raining down to the bomb site. They're going to push back in. Steel hit by a flashbang. Perfect timing, and in they go now. Stewie grabs the first kill. Steel's able to hold for a trade. Trying to get more going on here, but Steel dipping back in. He's still finding the impact necessary, but unfortunately shut down by Cbble. And without any of his teammates being able to find additional impact, Henny is not really going to have hope in the world unless he pulls off a miracle here of this 1v3. He will push back in, and he's looking for anything, but he's not checking to his right. And if he goes too far forward, oh, scratch that. He destroys Automatic, even though it didn't even see him up until that point. He knows he's got the bomb planter somewhere sitting here behind the statue, but Shroud, he's not moving an inch. He'll have to force his hand with this Molotov, but even that It's not going to do it. Shroud will just be able to back up instead. Now Henny trying to lurk back around. He actually might think it's all clear, but the missed shot, he's going to seal the deal. Shroud will finish off the round, and it's Cloud9 up to 7 now.
That was just so nicely done by Stewie. If you saw when he jumped out from that smoke, it was like the most perfect timing possible. I know Steel was still able to get 2 kills there after that, but it kind of opened up everything else. And Shroud just opened up the round, just tapping like twice through the smoke, gets a kill on FNX. Immortals, though, you know, they still have 5 rounds. It's not terrible. The T side can lend to even blowouts on this map at times. But they flash over and they push, you know, A with all 5, only able to get 2 kills now. But I think that is all that they will get.
Oh no! Oh, what? This is somehow going down to a 1v1 as FNX takes down nothing since he runs out of ammo, and then he grabs the headshot on the Skadoodle as well. But 12 HP, and he's up against a full 8 HP player, and it's Stewie. Still has a smoke, still has a flashbang. So Stewie's looking okay. The thing is, though, is Stewie, he's just trying to DM this out right now. He's not actually bringing the bomb over to one of the sites, and it's still sitting way back over here behind the fountain. And in the meantime, Stewie has gone into the bomb site, thinking that FNX would have retreated to prepare for essentially just a regular push into that site, but it's not the case. And now, look at this, FNX has even pushed through. Doesn't have armor, mind you, but still, he's upgraded to an AK, but he might get caught reloading here. They both jump out of the open, and FNX,
oh my God.
What is that? He destroys Cloud9 and does the impossible.
How did he just do that?
No clue.
I think that was 5v1 with a Deagle.
It was.
With no armor. And they all knew where he was.
Here we go. Let's take a look at the replay right now. There's 1. There's 2. It's the 3rd and 4th ones that are most impressive. And actually, at the hands of nothing, this is a big mistake. He ran out of ammo on that 3rd kill where he almost had him dead to rights. And then the follow-up is beautiful. And he's allowed all that time to run around, pick up an AK, and finish the job. That was absolutely insane.
That was ridiculous.
All right, so after that one, it'll take us into the final rounds of the half. It has secured the Immortals a essentially full buy now, since they were going to buy into that next one regardless, but winning out the round gave them a little bit more cash flow to work with, so they're back into it now. Full buy for everyone, full utility. Even Henny has the op with full utility as well. Cloud9 thankfully still had a decent bank built up behind it, so they are going to be able to reinvest, but it's an understatement to say that Immortals had no business winning that round, let alone a clutch like that to come back out from one of their individuals. So let's see as Cloud9 go back into the default that they have been running for this half, if they can get themselves back on the better path here.
I'm still like amazed. That was so absurd.
The odds of that happening, just astronomical. But we do see Bolts picking up this first kill here. Steel tries hide in the corner below Broken, doesn't find it. However, FNX is going to chain 2 together. Lucas, 1 for 1, but ultimately it's brought down to Skadoodle. Immortals have the advantage now in a 2v1. Skadoodle is just going to be hanging back here. Smokes himself off to make it look like he's crossing, and he has the angle versus Bolts. Fully commits himself to the spray, but Bolts will win out at the end of it. So now they've retied it 7-2 all after it looked like Cloud9 were going to push up to something like 10-5 just a few rounds ago. That's no longer the case, and we will be even as we go into the final round.
Man, Stewie must be so mad, though. How does he end up in a 1v1 in that scenario? Right? I would be so pissed.
He's pretty detached from all of that that's happening as well, because I think he was like somewhere near the
B. Yeah, he was holding B while they 4 were, you know, outside of A.
So Henny again pushing himself out through A long to try and see if he can spot anything early on. There is a presence from C9 position just outside of the mid connector, but he has not been able to spot any of that just yet. And yeah, we just took a look at that there at the hands of Stewie. He's with 2 of his other teammates. Henny, though, actually does transition himself back down, finds a spot in a Stewie, and grabs the first kill of the round. More Immortals there as they knock him out. And again, really no follow-up from C9. They've been mostly immobile when it comes to this sort of thing. And he, again, is just given another opportunity, and he connects the shot. Down will go Skadoodle. They've got this into a 5v3. The only real damage that he's done has been on Distill, though that'll change now since nothing gets the sentry on the Bolt today long. Automatic, sneaky, but he finds his way all the way up the sidewalk. He gets a position right in front of FNX where he's going to be able to take him down there. Even again, into a 3v3, but all Automatic is doing is really just trying to throw this fake here, trying to get them all to rotate over towards B, and it's working, as we do have Henny starting to push back too. Lucas, though, gets that kill, and they should be able to realize it, but Cloud9 pulled back, actually, and I think they were going to fall around here and actually go into the B bomb, so they're still going to do that, but they've lost the site control now, and they're going to have to push back in with, you know, realistically, by the time they set up, only about 30 seconds left.
Yeah, but I think they think that that E-Box guy is the only player at B. I don't know if they know that Henny's still there.
As they do drop in, Lucas already set up for it. That's the bomb gone away. Nothing only had like 10 HP anyway.
Excuse me, Steel.
So Steel will shut it down, and after an incredible turn of events, it is going to be Immortals that hold the advantage coming out of the half. 8-7 will be the scoreline. Stick around, folks. You're not going to want to miss the conclusion of this match.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
Well, welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen, here. This match, which it sort of seemed like Cloud9 was going to be taking control of things towards the end of that first half. It changed itself up again after that incredible clutch at the hands of Immortals. They now take the lead 8-7 coming out of the first half here on Cobblestone for our final map of the evening.
Yeah, I'm still just amazed at that round.
It's you never expected it. Just pops out of nowhere. I mean,
Yeah.
even you were talking about there at this point. Like we were both just like, yeah, this is going to be easy cleanup because they pretty much decimated everybody before that.
I feel bad because if you were just talking, you would have just brought the hype. It would have been awesome. But instead, I'm just like, yeah, just easy cleanup. You know, wait, what?
4 kills out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So it's certainly surprising everyone. I think not even just us. But we do go into the second half now here as we can see the pistol round getting started. The Immortals now jumping onto the T side. And again, pretty standard opener here for the most part. We are going to be having Bolts and Steel sort of playing things, or excuse me, Bolts and I believe it's FNX, playing just outside of A long there to watch out for any extra aggression at the hands of Cloud9. They will be regrouping, the B players, this is, they will be regrouping with this guys outside in a moment, and it does look like they may just end up going all the way through, trying to go for a fast A play.
Yeah, grouping up, and it's definitely going to be the A play. Automatic's going to have to rotate and really have an impact here. But if they allow them, which it looks like it's going to be allowed, is to just set up completely, Ska is going to have a smoke to kind of smoke him out in sight, help smoke himself out in sight, which could be helpful for him. But if they could just get a smoke down and execute immediately afterwards, and the rotate's delayed, this is going to be pretty tough for Cloud9.
Immortals trying to push their way back in and checking on these corners of one, and they are being cautious of that smoke, hoping that someone from the CT side decided to hide in there. But no, really just wasting time because of that one. FNX picking up the shot on the Skadoodle there. They're able to eliminate him. And again, Cloud9 have no positioning here to work with at all. So it's Henny and FNX again chaining together 2 more kills. Shroud gets the warning because of the shadow here, but he cannot find any of these shots at all. Stewie finally taking out one of them, but the damage has already been done. Now he's lost Shroud. It's just him. Bolts will finish the job. And it will be the Immortals that continue to push through here, holding on to their lead 9-7 now.
Yeah, and I think Skadoodle made a big mistake off trying to smoke long A there. Obviously, missing the smoke is one thing, but I think if he keeps the smoke and he smokes himself out in sight, and it just makes it so difficult for the T's to kind of push up APC, and it makes it a lot easier on his teammates. As soon as he went down, it makes it a lot more difficult for his teammates to actually get frags because they just don't have that person in sight to draw their attention and look at.
Well, now Cloud9 stacking here on the B-bomb site, and that's a gamble that may end up actually working out here as we take a look. Everyone from the Immortals is leaning in towards that type of a hit right now, but also, mind you, you can see FNX basically walking up to A for free, so they may get the spot on this a little bit early and just play the safe game here, decide to fall back. You have that nade stack possibility too from Cloud9, which is always a bit worrisome, but no, FNX is going to move in, and they'll still keep to the plan. And FNX spotting that first one, but he will wait a little bit longer. Good trigger discipline here, but it'll roll right in. There's the first one. There's the second one. They just try to throw the nades at him instead, but it's a little bit late for that now. Nothing is already down to the last man, and he's not probably going to survive for very long. Nice bolts, finding one more and pushing him more.
Try to the nades at him, and so they all turn around and chuck their nades at him. That's hilarious. Oh, man. I was hoping when he was going to knife like 3 people there. That would have been great. But instead, you know, he's got to get his revenge. What if he looked at the player model and he saw their name and then like looked for Stewie and just went for him?
Specifically,
yeah, since Stewie got him
but no.
yeah. Like that's what he should have done. But anyways, he gets 3 in the back.
That would be nice.
But that nade stack is becoming far more common now.
And Lucas just a turret over here, countering out all of this A-long pressure. Skedoodle, yeah, this one pretty quick. That's like a 20-second round, and Immortals push up to 11. No problems at all with these first 3. Now we get into the good stuff as Cloud9 finally have enough money to invest.
Yeah, and FNX, after those 2 anti-ecos, getting 3 and then 2 is at 25 and 10. So just like pretty crazy impact by him.
Overall, it seems like that clutch may have put a bit of a tilt on C9 as we're just not seeing a whole lot from them. Even in that pistol round, too, they look pretty weak. We have to hope now that something sparks here on the gun round, as if not, it may lead itself to be a pretty quick second half and allow for Immortals to take control of things. Automatic holding for that first one, no. Looking for more, but no, it's Lucas able to find the trade there, bringing us down to a 4v4 as the rest of the team, well, they're stuck in the B halls right now, and they won't move in for a bit of drop control. Keep in mind, again, the bomb's still in the hands of Lucas. They already saw that, so the plan to a certain degree has been revealed. Shroud, though, outside a drop, getting one, looking for the second, and he's going to find it. Good control held by him. Kills the drop flank, and now Henny going to have to try and push back in with Lucas to just manually take control of the A bomb site, and they're still outnumbered, even with that additional kill they just picked up there. Molly going into the rat hole room, though, will hold them off for a moment, but Shroud now jumping down from the balcony, and look at this, just beautifully holding them off with that flashbang, and the push from Shroud will finish off those last 2. He'll end up with a 4K on the round, countering out not only the drop split players, but also killing the main 2 that were pushing their way out.
Yeah, great job by Shroud on that 4K. And he did the same thing on Train. He had that huge 4K near Ivy as well. And I mean, what that allows him to do, it just allows Cloud9 to build more and more money, which you just really need if you're gonna, you know, essentially make a little bit of a comeback here. I mean, they're not down by a lot, but they are down, right? It is 11-8. And that round was just really, really important. So he stepped up big.
Cloud9 still able to go for an investment this time around, however, as we see the op coming in for Skedoodle. Plenty more here. And on the Immortals side of things, it's essentially the same story, but all quiet across the map. There has been actually a lot of early aggression really on both sides of it, first couple of rounds. But this time is one of the first ones where I think it's basically being played into its default now. Both teams sort of respecting each other's boundaries and nobody taking any risks up until this point. I'm sure that's going to change in the next 15 to 20 seconds, though, as Immortals do need to move in for a bit of map control. And it seems like the tides are shifting over towards A again, already showing a lot of variance with regards to just the sites they tend to play towards here, a lot more than Cloud9, where they were almost always going B default every single round with a couple of attempts to try and change it up towards A. So Immortals already being a lot better at sort of keeping it mixed up here just within these first couple of plays.
Yeah, just not really allowing Cloud9 to get a read on them. So now Cloud9 obviously just has to play like 2A, 3B side. But they do have a little bit of B plat control with Stewie. So that is helpful.
Steel along with Henny now moving in and fully committing themselves to drop without any hesitation at all. Nothing will be caught jumping, so Steel, he'll be able to punish that, but a Molotov goes inside, so it's going to inhibit them from pushing out anymore. They cannot support the players pushing out their broken wall. Shroud's going to be able to find one there, but is immediately traded out by Bolts. Now Henny trying to push his way back in. He successfully eliminates Stewie, and even looks for the second one too, but that's a bit over-aggressive, and now he's put things back down into an even scenario here. Lucas knows that he's sitting outside, and with the timing low, they do need to prioritize the plant, so they'll put that on the ground, but they have a flank coming in through a broken wall. They need to be very cautious of that. At the same time, Skedoodle has not been able to find anyone through this transition room hole. So he moves out. The swing is a miss, though. But at the same time, we also saw Steel finding Skedoodle there. So it goes down 1 for 1, and they're already on the bomb. I don't even think Steel realizes he's just going to be able to peek up. Is he going to get the kill? Thankfully, he will, but that was close. Less than a second on the clock.
Yeah, Steel played that actually perfectly. He waited until automatic crossed towards the bomb and then just started crawling out and not making any noise. And if he didn't play that down to like the half second perfectly, he probably doesn't win that round because he probably makes noise when automatic's defusing. Automatic gets off the bomb, maybe gets that kill. Instead, he played that very, very well, especially with like 20 HP, and puts Cloud9 onto another save. I thought they would have enough money here to buy, since they did have, I believe, 3 alive on the round they won, but they just purchased so much utility, maybe dropped a couple guns, and now they're not going to be able to. So they're in a bad spot. They should be 13-8, especially since they don't have FNX to just pull out a miracle.
So for Bolts here, yeah, not even a Deagle either. So if we saw it with a PT50, that would be something else. But for right now, it's Cloud9 that are pretty much going to have to get this one up. Actually, no, they do find a Deagle. They're sitting on Shroud, so they still have that. But Bolts is really just playing with them at this point to hold them back for a little bit as they slowly dispatch them one by one. And he's a nice slow tapping there against Cbble is going to take him down. And FNX will push back in. He does get lit to 9 HP, but yeah, as you mentioned before, this is going to be a pretty casual round for the Immortals. They'll just walk right through this one, and now they know where Shroud is, so they can try to close out on him and get themselves that 13th.
Yeah, so 13-8, and I believe they're, well, let's check out Immortals' money. It's pretty strong. So even if they lose this round, I think they'll be able to, I think they might be able to buy even the next 2 if they can, you know, get a bomb plant. Even if they lose this round and the following round, I think they'd be able to buy the round as well. So they're in like a really good spot, and this is going to be very difficult for Cloud9. No op, not much utility. Just really just 4 M4s here. So we'll see if they try to take some type of a risk. They have 2 towards A early, Henny opping the danger, and they're playing pretty slowly on Immortals to start off, but it's going to be a burst towards the A halls very quickly, maybe even going off contact right here. And the round's going to be decided very fast.
Automatic trying to go for the knife peek there. A little bit of a jiggle, but it backfires tremendously. Cbble, he is able to push back in and find 1 kill, but again, he also overextends, and that is going to lead to FNX taking him right back out. 4v3, nothing with a nice shot, though, through the door. Does manage to take down Lucas. There's no room for a trade currently at the hand of the Immortals, so this goes down even again. Problem being, though, Cloud9 were sort of surprised by how quickly this push came back in, so there's no room for a flank to line itself up over there through the mid-connect or anything like that. They're all just going to have to bang their heads in through the door and over through Heaven, which is 9 times out of 10 really not going to work out, especially with the utility they brought into this round, so seems like they're going to fall back and make the save, which is certainly going to seem to be the smarter choice at this point in time.
Yeah, and Automatic almost never gets caught out like that. I think he was probably communicating with Cbble, maybe talking about their setup a little bit, but I almost never see him make that mistake. He's usually one of the he's one of the best Cbble players in North America at that long A. He almost never gets caught out. He's very difficult to lurk on, plays it very, very solidly, and is usually really just solid on that site, but gets caught by a pretty scrimmy strategy. I mean, that's something that people have done, you know, for a long time on this map, is you just kind of walk through A halls with one guy throwing something middle and somebody, you know, kind of making noise B. And the idea is that guy B keeps the 4th player at B there, and then maybe there's 1 player A, and you could just decide the round very, very fast, right, based off those frags. And if he doesn't play it perfectly and you know, get a spot and a smoke down, then that happens, right? It just opens up the site, and it's not even worth trying to take control. You have to go for it if you're Cloud9.
Well, there is a lot of combat already actually happening just within the first couple seconds of this round. Automatic, he's been able to find the kill back over here at A long. Backdrop FNX, and we also saw Henny try to go for a quick peek over there at Broken Wall approach. Didn't really work out, though. He actually got dinked through the walls, was brought down to 63 HP, and in the meantime, because of all that action, it has pushed everyone on this T side back. Stewie has a great corner angle here, and he's just going to push right in as soon as the smoke fades, knocking out Bolts. That's given them a 5v3 advantage to work with. Stewie, obviously, no reason to stick around here and risk his life. They're far too happy with that advantage, and it's certainly going to be bold, to say the least, if he sticks around there to look for more. The rest of Immortals are going to try to push back in, trying to take control, at least over here towards drop, but it's very messy from Lucas. Brings down Shroud to 7 HP, and oh, it's perfect timing the peek there from Stewie as well. Was completely blind, but was still able to spot one in the back. Unfortunately, they lost the narrative a little bit here. Lucas and Steel trading out 2 more kills. The site itself still a little bit weak, and the CTs are focusing mainly all their defenses on drop, but with Automatic aligning that flank there to take down Lucas, this should be a little bit better. The problem being, though, is, again, they are still expecting this all to come in from Dropper over there on the sidewalk. Steel finds the headshot kill in the Shroud, taking him back down. There's going to be the Molotov that comes back in, so to delay the plant temporarily. And in the meantime, all the CTs are changing up positions here. Steel is going to kind of jump back up just to make sure he's not being pushed over from Broken. Now to deploy the smoke to allow him to plant in this corner. And again, actually, no, he's still not committing to it. Sprays in, has the good angle about it, brings Cbble down to 10 HP. This is really his last chance, though, so he does need to commit. 3rd time's the charm for Steel here, as he finally goes and fully commits the bomb to the ground. And for the rest of Cloud9, they're staying together. These two are going to try to play this and try to double peek this more than likely, but Automatic moves in. This could still work out to where Steel could isolate these in a 1v1. There's the first one. Now he's looking for Automatic, and he's going to close out on it. So Steel ends up with the 4K, and Immortals continue to push through now in dominating fashion, up to 14 now. Or excuse me, I think they go up to 15 now.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the troubles. You know, I've seen Cloud9 do that consistently, where whenever they're in a 2v1, they try to group up, and I think it hurts them a lot more often than it helps them. I remember watching them versus Virtus Pro and Mirage, and Neo had 1 HP. And he goes and he gets the bomb, and they allow him to get the bomb and plant and just kind of stick together, and then he gets in Cat and you know, wins the 2v1, right? And they kind of did the same to Pasha as well, and I just don't agree with that theory where you should just stick together no matter what in these 2v1s.
Well, now it's looking like Immortals are in full control here. Cloud9's still at a full buy, but it doesn't matter. The only one that's gotten a kill in this round has been Nothing, and he's already been dispatched of there by Steel. Automatic is trying to lurk his way around for a flank, but FNX is paying attention to that, and now it's just Automatic. FNX knows he's there. They may try to have some fun with this one as they push him, but nah, unfortunately, he's a little bit too quickly about that one. So it is the Immortals with an incredible clutch at the hands of FNX there, and just an overall huge turnaround as we were seeing. I mean, it was them controlling it at the beginning. Then we saw Cloud9 sort of start to come back, but as soon as that clutch happened, it was pretty much all Immortals from that point forward.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel great. I think Vendetta has to give me his entire pay rate after that 2-0 prediction battle. So yeah, feels pretty good.
All right, so let's send it back over to him along with Stunna to get his thoughts on his loss of all of his money, unfortunately.
Well, that's unfortunate that you'll have nothing to eat while you're here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a second job.
You're actually very.
Do you have anything in the, in the near future?
In the area, we'll see what happens.
All right.
Listen, yeah, that one didn't quite pan out the way Cloud9 wanted to. Obviously, they came out a little bit more prepared, or maybe it just came out with a little more firepower on cash. But Cbble, what happened?
I mean, for the better part of that first half, obviously they get off to a poor start once again, but as the first half progresses, they get more into it, and I think they would have gotten off to actually a pretty decent first half overall, considering their start, if it hadn't been for those damn meddling kids. Like FNX is obviously like Deagle shenanigans pretty much broke the back of Cloud9 in a big way, and ever from that point on, it didn't really feel like a contest, weirdly enough, but. You can't really account for that kind of things to happen, but I think if in an alternate universe FNX doesn't land those kills, I think Cloud9 have a much better game.
Well, in case you missed it at home, let's take a look now at that round where FNX is over there pretending to be McCree on ult mode. Check this out.
It's like absolutely nuts. Obviously, you can put some blame on Cloud9 for not obviously being able to get a return frag on FNX after those 2 first frags, but sometimes stars just align and you have to let the magic happen, and that was pretty much the case of it. The fact that he normally would expect him to just get those, or normally it'd be perfectly fine if he only got those 4 kills and didn't end up in the round. Obviously not going to create the same kind of a highlight, but the fact that he's able to still play it so patiently and come back in to close it out as well is absolutely nuts. And we talked about it in the pregame as well, like FNX in the past, like if you go far back in time, was an utter beast at this game for good reason, right? Like there's a reason why you talk about him as like so highly, and you didn't necessarily have him in a position in SK to do the same things as we see him doing for Immortals right now. And you can tell him, like, for a ton of their T-side rounds, he's the first guy in as well. And even on the CT sides on Train, he's the one initiating aggression. So yeah, no, we're definitely getting to see a new, more exciting side to FNX.
What if I were to say that, stringing from Cloud9's 25-1 last season?
Yeah.
What if I were to say that is the only loss you guys are allowed at home? Let me tell you that. All right, moving forward, let's take a look at today's matches. We do a quick recap here. We're going to pull that up right in front of you any second now, I'm sure.
Any day now.
Any day now. All right. There we go. Okay, so we had Energy Winter Fox. That was our kickoff of the day. Walk us through today.
I mean, just started off with, well, I guess the 2 first best of ones we had ended up being kind of one-sided. Energy just playing very, very solid Counter-Strike, and Winter Fox still not finding that footing that we talked about. They ended up kind of prettying up the result by picking up 1 pistol round in each of the games. Outside of that, it was just domination from Energy's side, and it's fun to see Peter having a really good game on Cbble as well. And we both got to see Marky and Breeze, the 2, I guess, more unknown commodities in that team have a spotlight as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the Energy Winter Fox match was not nearly as hyped to caliber as the Cloud9 Immortals matchup. But it was nice to see Energy come into their own there and just kind of, have that confidence and kind of press it forward.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And even though, you asked me at the start of the day who I think is going to be the final top 6 to make it through from the NA division, I didn't mention Energy, but I think they could definitely be the team that ruined someone else's dream of actually making it to Dallas. So, you can't really count them out. And the way they were playing today, it's a good sign.
Well, let's take a look now to see if they could possibly be anywhere close to making it to Dallas. We're going to load the standings up there for you guys for the season thus far here in NA Pro League. So, obviously, Cloud9, SK, Liquid, Optic still at the top of the pack. Immortals creeping in with that W tonight, as well as Energy right there. That also drops CLG down because I don't believe they played tonight. Or maybe
That's correct. That's correct.
So, at this point with this spread, it's kind of shaping up how you would expect.
I mean, in many ways, yeah. One of the things that are kind of mind-blowing is how good round differential Cloud9 have. And even Energy, they're 4-2, but they've got a plus 22 round differential, which is pretty impressive. So, for the better part of the games they win heavily.
Now, I'm going to pull up something here that you're going to be extra excited about, and that would be the European standings for the ESL Pro League Season 5. I'm going to let you just take it from here.
But, I mean, this is not looking the way you would have expected it to look initially. Obviously, G2 have a lot of hype going into this season with a new roster. They're at 1-4, not doing too hot already. But Mouse Sports, who just, whenever you hear people talking about Mouse Sports on broadcasts and whatnot, it's always with a bit of a sigh and, you thought of what could have been, but they're doing great for themselves. Starting off 5-1 in Pro League, that's absolutely amazing.
Well, absolutely. I mean, looking at their Astralis 4-2, that doesn't speak to the testament, the volume that they're playing at right now on the international stage.
Yeah, no, and again, it's still early days. For all we know, Astralis could end up with just 2 losses in that column as well. With the way they're playing right now. And yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. Obviously, Mouse Sports, if they're going to be able to maintain that kind of a good form that they've had, not very likely, but it's still cool to see that they're still, putting up a competent lineup that's able to actually bring the noise.
Okay, when we think about some noise, guess what we're going to have tomorrow?
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of guys to show from here, but
nope. There's AKs going off, there's M4s going off, there's AWPs going off. We got more Counter-Strike for you guys tomorrow. Let's take a look at it. I'm not going to put you in the spot like that.
Yeah, we're starting to wonder.
So we've got CLG Misfits early on in the day, and then we've got Selfless and Liquid. Which one excites you more?
Honestly, given how my predictions for the top 6 was panned out, I'm kind of interested to see how CLG versus Misfits plays out. I haven't gotten to see too much of Misfits after they created that team yet, and CLG, obviously with Ricky coming into that team, it's going to be interesting to see how they mesh early on.
And then on the other side of things here with Liquid obviously taking Stanislaw, and that addition to the team now having more time to have kind of meshed and worked. Yeah, so I mean, with what they're able to put together with more time, that would be a little bit exciting.
Absolutely, and that's going to be a journey. I think that's the storyline that you can follow for the entirety of the Pro League season, more or less. I'm not sure if Selfless is going to be the team that brings them to the brink in that sense, but every game is going to be testing grounds for them, and that's going to be cool to see what kind of progress they make or what progress they fail to make as we go forward.
No, absolutely. Selfless is one of those teams that is, I think they barely squeaked into the Pro League this season. And then now, they need to make sure they're not in the same position at the end of this.
Exactly.
So it's very important for them not to find themselves in that same position and crossing their fingers and toes.
Yeah, and I guess if you want to go up against Liquid at any given point, it's probably better to do it right after a roster change than when they've gotten, I guess accommodated with each other, right? Like once Team Liquid start feeling good and firing on all cylinders, that's when you want to avoid them. So Selfless, they have to look at this as one of the better opportunities they have at actually grabbing a W versus one of the better teams in the league.
So as we wrap up today, let's take a look. We had Winter Fox Energy.
Yeah.
We saw how that went. Pretty much a landslide for Energy.
Definitely.
We had Immortals and Cloud9. And 16-9, 16-8, it's pretty fair and even trade across the maps. That's I think that was to be expected. Obviously, we didn't even really, and there's no real way to quantify this, but are they lagged? Are they not lagged? I guess it's not on us to decide.
No, I guess that's on the players. But in the end, I guess both teams can be happy about them splitting the series in that sense, or getting one best of one each. It's not going to be the end of the world for any of them. Yeah, and that's pretty much the outtake you can take from it. But how much they got impacted by the travel, I mean, judging from FNX, he didn't seem too affected by it on Cbble.
He was all about it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that does it for us here at ESL Pro League Season 5 North America Match Day number 7, Week 3. Whew. But we'll be back tomorrow with Match Day 8. There we go. That actually comes after 7. It's weird how that works.
Yeah.
We'll be back tomorrow. Same great time, same great place. So make sure you're here with us.